Deco Summit 2023 is coming up in September down in Miami, Florida. It's going to be a good time, just like it was last year. If you guys are interested in going, I'm going to put a link down below for Deco Summit. Also, there's going to be a code down below for my special viewers, my subscribers, my followers, to save you guys some money if you purchase a ticket. Last year it was a good time. I got to network with a lot of people and learn a lot more stuff about embroidery while I was there. I will also be there as a guest speaker this year. There's going to be other content creators there, and I'm telling you, they're all willing to talk and give out tips and tricks on what they're doing to take their shop or their home business to the next level. It's going to be a good time, so I hope to see you there. What's up, everybody? Joe here from Hard Hustle Printing, and one of the biggest questions I get asked a lot is, how do I embroider closer to the brim? So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how to go into your parameters and change up your settings so that you are able to stitch lower to the brim. So if you're interested in seeing the process, stay tuned. One thing I want to let you know before we get into this video, I want to make sure that you guys hear this. So one thing I want to make sure that you guys know before you get into this is that I believe Ricoma does this to protect you from messing up the machine. And as you learn more about embroidery and you're figuring out that you're not going down lower and you start asking those questions, then you can go and expand your parameters to be able to embroider lower to the brim. So I want to let you guys know that whenever I show you my settings, if you're watching this from your phone, make sure you take a screenshot so you'll know my parameters for the cap. I will also write them down in the bottom of the image during when I'm showing you that, so that you guys will have it also. But just know that Ricoma does this to protect you from damaging the machine. So whenever you change your parameters, make sure you do your trace, because if you do not do your trace, you take a chance of hitting the brim of the cap ring. And if you hit the brim of the cap ring, you could be in for some real trouble. So make sure that you do all of that. And I am not responsible if you change your parameters and you damage your machine. All right, I'm going to show you how I do it, and if you want to use it, then you can use it. But just know I am not responsible if you damage your machine using my parameters. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so as you guys know, I got a 6 head and we're doing some hats on that one right now. And then I also just got a new MT1501 where the parameters on this one are still set to how they send it. And then this one is my older MT1501 that I've had for 3 years now, and this is the one where I've changed my parameters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these two machines so I can get those screens next to each other, so that you can see the difference in the parameters and my settings that I have. Right, so if the video is a little shaky, it's because I'm using my handheld and I'm not using the gimbal and I can't find my stand, so let's deal with it. All right, so let's go ahead and get these two screens closer together so I can show you what we're talking about. So here we are, we have the two machines side by side, and I'm going to try to keep this from being all shaky. So if it's shaky, I'm sorry. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick the image that says blessing. We're going to pick that on both of these here. And if you look, they both have 14,024 stitches on both of them. So we're going to hit OK, let that load. And as we can see on the older machine that I did change my parameters on, that we have a green border around this. And if we come over here and we look at this one, you're going to see a red box around it, meaning that the image is too big. So if I were to go to hit start, it's not going to let me start to embroider this because the image is not inside the parameters. So you would have to make this image under 2.5 inches, making it embroider higher on the cap. Right, so we're going to go into the parameters, and you do that by clicking this button right here. So it's going to say EMB parameters. We're going to click that one here. It's going to take us into this, and then we're going to come down here. Don't worry about any of this. You're going to come to where it says frame. Click your frame and you're going to see all the different frames that you have over there. So we're going to do the same thing over here. I'll show you for a second time. You're going to hit EMB parameters and then frame. And then if you look here, you got your cap frame, you got your A, B, C, and so on, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to look at this one. This is the older one from that I have changed my parameters on. And if we look at this top row, you can see that I have the X center at 60, the Y center at 75, the X size at 350, so I can get to the sides of the hats if I needed to, and then the Y size to 85 to make it bigger so you can embroider more. All right, so this is the one that I have changed my parameters on. We're just gonna hit OK, and it's gonna leave it as it is. But if we look at this one, you're gonna see that everything is different. Let me go back to this one so I can show you. So for the X center, this one's at 62. I have mine at 60 over here, and on the Y center, this one's at 70 and the other one's at 75. So the X size and the Y size, it originally comes with 260 and 60. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to change it. So if you click this, that's the one you're going to change. If you start hitting 350, it's just going to add on to that number that you got. So you got to make sure you go in here and hit clear, type in 350, and then come to the next one, hit clear again, and then type in 85, and then hit OK. And when I hit OK, watch what's going to happen to that box that was red. It's now going to turn green. So now you can see our box is green. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go back to the frame. I'm going to clear it, put it back to 260, and then put this one back to 60. Hit OK, and now you're going to see it's red again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here and just go ahead and change mine so I don't have to do it later. 350. Then we're going to come here and we're going to change this one to 85. Hit clear, 85. OK. And now we got the green box letting us know that we are ready to embroider this image right here. And then you're gonna see the difference on your hat, how low you can get. You still have to be careful whenever you're doing this. Like I said, do your trace and make sure you're not hitting this right here. All right, so remember, I gotta cover myself again because I don't want nobody coming at me. If you change your parameters, you are fully responsible for any damages that are caused to your machine. Right? Make sure you do not want to hit this right here. Make sure you do your trace. After you do your trace, you do your contour trace. Trust me, I've done it before where I forgot and then I hear a loud crushing noise where the presser foot's hitting and the dang needle is shattering. So make sure you do your trace, your contour trace, and make sure your needle or your presser foot is not going to hit that right there. So my rule of thumb is always, if I can put my finger like this, I am good to go. Everybody's fingers are different, so if you got bigger fingers or smaller fingers, you should be able to do it with about that size right there. So leave a gap so far so that you are able to embroider closer to the edge and you're not going to hit your presser foot or break your needle. All right, so for those of you that have been asking for this video for a very long time, here it is. I hope you guys get something out of it and you're able to embroider lower to the brim like this, right? So thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for all the support. And until next time, keep pressing.